So guys, if you miss any of the classes, we have the recording session. So every live classes we have the recording session. So I would recommend, if you miss any of the classes, you can go and watch the recording session. So you can see every classes have the recording session. So you can watch. Okay. And anyone interested in the anyone searching job, then let me know. I will refer you in TCS. Okay. So yeah, you can send me the resume, right? And all the details mentioned in the resume, and you can share the resume with me.
For which all position it is opening there in the TCS?
I think it's as I know, I think it's for the development also, testing also, and for the product owner. So I have to check, like in the testing side,
Yeah,
any specific
testing,
one
like what is
or
the position they are looking for? Like, and in which technology? Like it's automation or manual testing, API testing, or how it
yeah,
is?
I have to check that one. So I will let you know. Give
Okay,
me some time. I will check into the portal and let you know which
okay,
particular position and the job description.
okay. Thank you.
And also like in Infosys also, if you are trying to switch, so you can also try in Infosys. So Infosys, huge requirement is going on. They're having one new project for the PAN location. So they are recruiting the employee.
Vikasha, this notice
Yes, sir.
period is how many months actually? Do you have any idea?
In TCS, I think 2 months is fine.
Okay, okay.
If you are immediate joiner, then it's also fine. But I think it's 2 months. Okay. Okay. Let me. Yeah, I have shared my screen and started the recording. So in this class today we are going to discuss about the environment. Okay. Let's not discuss this one right now. First, we are going to discuss the environment. What are the environment they have, and the useful. Give me a second. Let me close all the tab. Close all the tab. Close all the close. Okay. So we have seen that we have the collection in the left hand side. You can see we have the collection. So we are adding the collection inside the workspace, right? This workspace is created by your project team lead or by the client, and the client will ask you go and create the collection, go and create like whatever the collection it's required for your project. So you are going to create inside the collection. Okay. So this postman tool is majorly used by the development team also, the client also, and the tester also. That's why it is because it is much more user friendly, it is easy to use actually. That's why the number of person, the number of the companies and the project are using this tool actually, along with the some other tool also. So in if you're having the APIs project in your company, right, so they must have to use. Rarely some of the company, if they are not using, then it's okay, but maximum company they use for the postman, either for the manual testing, either for the automation testing. Okay. So we have added the collection, you can see it here, right? So after adding the collection, you can see on the left hand side panel, we have the environment sections here, right? So let's try to understand what did you mean by the environment. Okay. So when I click on the environment, you can see here one environment get added, new environment here. So if you want to rename this thing, you can click on rename and you can put the name. Okay. So sorry, what name you have to put it here based on your project, right? You can put the name. Okay. First let me explain the what did you mean by the environment, and based on that you can put the name. Okay. Based on the what basically its function is, right, how it is working, what is the use, based on that you can put the name. Okay. So give me a second. Person who is not joined. बोलू रखा होगा. Okay. So when you click on the environment get added, right? So here you can see on the right hand side, you can see one drop down here. Can you see it here? Drop down on the right hand side top panel. Here you will see the one drop down. Here you can see whatever the environment you have created, that environment get listed here. Okay, let's suppose I'm changing the name here. Let's suppose I'm giving the name as a, what is your collection name? Test bank API collection. Okay, so I will put the environment name as a like mm, bank environment or something, like based on your project you can put the name my bank environment. Okay, I put the name as a my bank environment here, right? On the left hand side you can see it here. On the right hand side, sorry, you will see the one drop down here, right? And if you click on the my bank environment, so you will get the environment open here, you can see. Okay, now there is one icon like eye icon, eye symbol is there. If you click on the eye symbol here, you can see we have two section here. The upper section is known as a local variable, okay, and the lower one is known as a global variable. Here you can see the global one. Okay, here the my bank environment. Okay, so basically the environment is used if you want to store any data, if you want to store any value, right? You can put it here, and if anyone can want to use you, they can pick it from here. So let's suppose if I take an example, guys. uh, uh, let's suppose you are let's suppose you has implemented something, and you want to use that thing by everyone, right? You have implemented that thing, and what you are doing here, let's suppose let me open my notepad. So let's suppose there is one user, the user one has implemented one thing. Okay, let's suppose he has implemented one product. Okay, product, he has implemented one product one. Okay, now in your team we have multiple teams members are there. Let's suppose user 2, user 3, okay, and user 4, and user 5. So multiple teams member are in your project. Right now you have implemented something. Now this user, like user 2, user 3, user 4, want to use this product. Okay, so without giving individually, what is the best solution for that? Anyone can tell me? Anyone have idea, like
Sorry, come back.
without user 1 has implemented this product, and the user 2, user 3, user 4, and user 5 want to use this product, right? So user 1 don't want to send this product, or any related particular thing from this product. They don't want to individually send, right? So what is the best action we can do, so that this product is used by the multiple users?
We
We can
can
keep them
make it
like
something as a global and then use it across. It might be like
So can we do like we can store this thing somewhere, like I'm storing this thing here, okay, some common place, and this user, right, they can go and use this, this user go to that common place and use this product will also go to that place and use this product. If suppose we increase the users also, this will be applicable for all, right? Correct, they can go to this particular location and they can use. Agree?
Like repository.
Yeah, just like repository, right, where we are storing our code, and in your team member we have the multiple person, right? So anyone want to look at your code, right, they have to pull the changes, right? After then they can see, and whatever he want to do, he can also do. Okay, so the basically what it's doing, let's try to understand. User one has implemented the product one, right? So we have one common space, the common platform where we can put our product, put the value. Okay, so that common place is known as here the environment, the environment. Okay, so the user one store this product into the environment, and user two can use this environment value. Okay, how they are doing, let's try to understand. Okay, so there are a lot of theory section are there, we don't go and read everything. Let me explain you practically. So here you can see when I go to the eye icon, this pop-up will get displayed. So if I click on the edit, okay, so you can see it here. You can see it here. We have the three columns inside this environment, right? So the first column name is the variable, and the second one is the initial value, and the third one is the current value. Okay, so this three column we have. Let's try to understand what did you mean by this three column and how it's basically work. Okay, so let's try to add something here. I'm trying to add uh, I'm trying to pass the name something, employee name or something like first name. Okay, I created one variable. I created the one variable, and one more thing, guys. Well, when you are creating any variable, right? So always remember how you can create the variable, right? So the first character should be in small. Okay, when you are, I think the same concept is in Java also, in C Sharp also, in other language also, in JavaScript also. Okay, so when you are creating any variable, try to make the first character as a small, and after then the second word you can put as a capital, like that. Okay, so this is the way to create the variable. Actually, this is the way you can put the name. Okay, so here I have used the first name. Yeah, if in your mind you have the question like can we write like that also, or it will work or not? Yes, it will work, no problem, both are correct. You will not get any error, right? But the ideal way to write the variable is, right, so you have to write the first character in small, after then the second word you have to use in the capital. Okay, and what is the use of variable, why we are using the variable? Let's try to understand. So guys, I think when we are in the earlier in the secondary school, or in the child age, so I think all are from the mathematics background, right? We all have learned the math, right? So in the math, have you seen in the algebra, in algebra, or I think in any other portion in the math or in the physics also. Have you seen we are assuming something, let x is equal to 10, 10 and 10, and let y is equal to 20, and we are adding both the things. Have you seen this type of calculation in your math? We are assuming the things, right? So that means what here I'm doing, I'm assigning the 10 value inside this variable. I assume one variable name, right? I can also put any variable in name here. So yeah, t also, or some other thing also, kk also, it's fine. Okay, so basically why we are creating the variable to store the value, to store the value. Okay, so that's why we are using the variable. Okay, so here the same thing I have did, I have created one variable, and we can pass the initial value. I will explain the what do you mean by the initial value later on. So you can pass the initial value as a, let's suppose I am adding uh, the name as a Nitish. Okay, I have added the initial values as Nitish. Okay, when you click outside, so it will get auto filled in the current value as well. Okay, now you can add one more thing. Let's suppose I'm adding last name. Okay, I'm adding last name here. Okay, so I'm creating one more variable, that the variable name is last name, and here I'm assigning one value, Nitish Singh. Okay, so in this variable I'm assigning this value, I'm storing this particular value. Okay, and when you click on save, when you let me copy this variable name somewhere so that I can use this variable name. Let me copy this one also. I have copied, and yeah, two variable I have created and assign the values as a Nitish and the Singh. Okay, let me save. Okay, it gets saved, right? Now uh, Now, let's suppose you are using this application, right? This collection you are using. Okay, so create the employee. Okay, so let me start my local server. Local server. Let me start. Let me take the command to start my local server, JSON server. I don't have remember what is the command for that. Okay, so this is the command to start the server. Okay, I have pasted here, and yeah, your local server get started. Now you can use this service. Okay, so here you can see, guys, the everything you have passed as a static value here, right? First name, last name, right? And all the data, right? So when you connect with the server, the data will get created, right? Now you don't want to pass the values here. Okay, you want to get the value from the environment, the variable which we have used. So we will use the concept of parameterization. So how we can parameterize? So I told you how you can parameterize the stuff. So what I have to use? Parameterization I have explained you guys. No?
No.
No. Okay, fine. So the parameterization means if anything you want to, if any variable you want to use, so using the dollar, using the, sorry, this is the syntax of parameterization, dollar and the variable name. Okay, in JMeter, if you are using the JMeter, right, in the JMeter we have, but here in the Postman we are using the parameterization like that. the curly bracket and the dollar and the variable name. So basically parameterization means if you want to use any variable using the dollar and the variable name, you can get that value. You can fetch that value which assigned to this particular variable. Okay, so I want to use the first name. I don't want to pass the values here. Just uh, uh, I want to take the data from the environment. Okay, so what I will do, I will use the parameterization concept and use here dollar. And what is the variable name? I have created the variable with the first name. I will copy the first name and pass it here. Okay, so when you use this parameterization, this is known as a parameterization. So if you want to use any variable value, right, so using the dollar and the variable, you can parameterize, you can use that value. Okay, so similarly if I want to also get the value from the environment, right, so what I will do, you can change the value here and use the parameterization concept. Okay, so what is the last name, variable name? So I copy the variable name. Make sure you are copy the exact thing, otherwise you will get the error message. Okay, now try to call. Ah, it's not taking the value. Okay, I think we use the wrong syntax. Seems like, no. Give me a sec. Oh, here we have selected environment, and first name you have pass and double curly bracket and use the dollar symbol. And let me call. So it's not taking the value from the environment. You can see it here. The first name, it's it's taking this one as a string. It's not getting the value from the environment, right? So we have to look into that, like what mistake we are doing here, right? So let's try to find the issue where we are doing the mistake actually. I think syntax is correct. Give me a second. Dollar. Writing something wrong syntax. Okay, give me a second. Let me try to add some other GUID. GUID I have used. Okay, you can see GUID get fetched. Now, yeah, I have written the correct. Let me save, and again here dollar, and I have also saved this thing and selected the active here. Now try to call. Strange. Give me a second. We have created the environment. Inside the environment we use the first name and the last name. Let me copy the exact name here and pass it here. Okay, I have passed the correct one, and let me call. Give me a second. Let me use that here as an environment. Yeah, it's the same syntax here. Okay, so what I will do, I will pass the unresolved variable. Let me open the console, network section, request body. It's taking as this one. Okay, so if I hover the mouse, it's saying unresolved variable. So give me a second. Yeah, I think unresolved. We are doing something, we are using the correct syntax, but something in the environment we are doing wrong. Go to edit. Yeah, we have already saved this thing. That is working. I have selected this active one. That is also fine. And unresolved. Okay, give me a second. Remove from here, pass the value here Rahul, and here sir. Okay, let me go to the body here. Let me give me a second. Let me set an environment variable. Let's suppose uh, test, and I'm storing the variable as a 1 2 3 4 5, and save it, and let's try to call. Okay, data get created, and test is also get created here. That's fine. That's absolutely fine. Now I have used the test. Now let me parameterize this thing. Or I can parameterize test. Okay, unresolved variable. Why it is unresolved now? The variable is not defined in the active collection, environment or global. It's not taking. Okay, give me a second. Let me delete this. Delete this workspace. Delete this environment, and let me create the new one I have created. Okay. Now put the name as a uh, test environment, something like I have put it, and select this environment here that is active. Now let's try to create the data. Now let's try to create the data, and we will go here, and yeah, 1 2 3 4 get created. Okay, now what I will use, I can use this variable as a parameterization. GUID test unresolved variable. Guys, anyone, you can try at your end, and could you please check that one? Go here in the environment section, and create the new environment. Okay, and add, and go and add some value and try to fetch. Are you getting the same thing? Could you please try at your end?
Same issue I'm also getting. Within brackets, it is showing first name, last name.
So have you used this syntax?
Yes, same only for first name, last name.
Okay.
In JSON object, key value pair I'm giving in value.
Okay, okay. So give me a second. So what I will do, everything is correct. Why it is not working? Global environment. Let me clear all the things, close all the tab, and no, everything is correct. think the global one. We don't have to do that. This is the local variable which we have created. And it's okay. Go to here in this workspace. Yeah, here we can go. Let's try to check. Okay, we are going to create one variable environment. And new environment get created, and let me put the environment. I have put the environment name, and we will select that environment, put and click on edit, add the, let's suppose I'm adding test2. Okay, and the value is 1, something like that. Okay, I have used and save, and then go to the collection label. Okay, I go to the collection level. Here I can try to use this variable. The variable name is test. Okay, so variable name is dollar and unresolved variable. This, yeah, see, this variable is not defined in the collection. Okay, let me use the existing one. I never faced this type of issue. Let me add one variable name here, g, and pass the value 1 2 3. Okay, and use this variable name, save this variable, and go here and pass this variable. No, it's not taking the value. Unresolved variable, it's saying.
Because
Mm-hmm.
just I got the result. Just go to that after environment variable creation. No, here in the first name, last name, when you are giving, don't give dollar.
Give me
Uh,
a second.
collection. That post body. Yeah, post body. Remove there. There I did not provide. I just provided in the body.
Yeah, give me a second. Yeah, I got it. Yeah. Change something. Yeah, I think they might have changed something. Uh, yeah, so basically what happened, guys, so you have to do the parameterization, right? So here you can see we have
I,
created the variable.
I also
Sorry,
get
sorry.
it right. Like if
Okay,
we
yeah,
don't use
let me
dollar,
explain.
then it is coming.
Yeah, let me explain you. So let me pass the, guys, can you hear me?
Yes. Okay.
Okay, fine. So let me pass the first name and the values as a Nitish, okay, and here pass the same value here. It is, and pass the last name here, last name as Singh, okay. I have used the Singh, okay. Now let me save. So yeah, actually, I get confused. Actually, I'm also taking the JMeter classes, right? So in JMeter, we are using this concept, the dollar. Dollar, and you have to use the variable name. So that get match actually, right? So, but in the Postman, You don't have to use the dollar actually. Okay, so you can directly parameterize. Let me remove this thing. How you can parameterize? You don't have to pass the dollar here, right? So you can directly pass the variable name inside the curly bracket. Okay, so if you pass the name here, like what is the name of variable? Yeah, first name. Let me copy and and go there and pass the value here. Similarly here also. Okay, pass the name here. Let me change the value last name. Okay, and try to call. So you can see it here. The first name get fetched and the last name get fetched. Okay, this is known as a parameterization. To use any variable, right, to use any variable we can use the parameterization concept. So wherever that means if you are passing anything inside the curly bracket, that means it will go and check that variable, right? So it will go and check your variable, and if that particular variable is created, then it will take the value from there. Okay, and the same thing, if you want to apply, let's suppose I'm adding the email ID, right, or date of birth or any value you can select, right? So you will go here and you can add that particular value here. Let's suppose I'm adding emp email ID. Let's suppose I have used this one. Okay, okay, now let me pass the email IDs as a this as @gmail.com. Okay, now let me say, right, let me copy this variable and go here, and what I will do, and again I want to use that variable, so I will do the same thing, parameterization concept, and using the double curly bracket and pass the variable name, right, and then you can see that particular value get fetched. Okay, similarly you can use for the others. I will explain you what is the real time use. Okay, first try to understand like that. Okay, so the variable, why we have uses the variable to store the value, right, and using the parameterization we can use that value. Okay, so let's suppose right now I'm using this value here inside the request body. Agree? Inside the request body, let's suppose I want to use this concept, use the parameterization. I want to get the value from the environment file, right? So how you can use, using the parameterization. So right now I have used the parameterization concept in the body. Now you have the question, can I use this parameterization in the URL? Yes, you can. Okay, let's do it here. So we have one variable, the variable name is the test. Can you see it here, test? So I will copy this test and go here and pass that variable name. And so one more thing guys, at the bottom of the Postman, can you see one console here at the bottom? Console at
Yes.
left hand side. So click on the console, you will get the console page, and click, and here is one arrow icon, square arrow icon. Click on that, it will open the new window for you, the Postman console. Okay, clear this thing, clear, right? No locks yet. So this console we are using to record the locks. Whatever the action we are doing, that action get recorded here as a temporary basis. Okay, that log, this is just like a debug, we are debugging the things. Okay, so whatever the action we will do in the Postman, if you open the console, right, so you will check the logs. Okay, so you can also use this one. because your screen will get splitted. So that's why to get the better visibility, I open the new window. Actually, how you can open the new window? Click on this arrow icon, this one, okay, and close this thing, so that you have one screen. Okay, when I call this, when I call, so guys, tell me, I have used the test here, right? And when you go to the console here, can you see the values here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you can see I call this particular request, right? This particular request, that particular logs get created here. Can you see it here? Right? If you expand that thing, whatever the data we are passing in the postman body, you will get all the things here, right? You can see the request header. What request header you are passing here? This request header, right? So you will get that request header here also. Okay, now the request body, can you see it here? The request body, right? You can go here and see the request body which you are passing here. You can see the request body. If you click on that, it will open the new window in the JSON format. You can see. If you close, then you will come back, right? So this is your request body. Now you can see it here, for the first name and the last name, right? I have used this particular parameterization where I have used the first name, right? When you go it here, can you see that parameterization concept will get the value from the variable, from the environment, the Nitish, right? And the Singh here, right? That means this concept is working, which you have used here. You can see the value get assigned, right? So you can see the request body here. Whatever the request body you are passing here in the logs, if you expand this particular request, it will get recorded. And response here. So guys, you can see the two things we have and try to understand. Okay, we have a request and the response. So tell me, who is sending the request?
User.
The user, the customer is sending the request, right, to the server, right? And here you can see response, the response which we are getting from the server, that is the response, right? So we have two types of the request header. We have two types of the header. One is request header that we are sending to the server, and second one is the response header that we are getting from the server. Similarly, the body, we have two types of the body. Okay, the request body which we are sending to the server, and the response body which we are getting from the server, right? The request is sent by the user and the response is sent by the server to the customer, to the user, to the end user. Okay, so if you go to the response header, you can see these types of header sent by your server. Okay, and if you go to the response body, here you can see here you are getting the blank response. Can you see it here? Same thing you can also see it here, right? So what I'm trying to say it here, I have parameterized this particular variable, right? Now you want to check the value get assigned or not. Here you can see using the console, using the logs, you can check the value get assigned or not. You can see it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It means the value get assigned, right? So let's suppose I'm passing some invalid one, okay, something like invalid, right? And let me try to call. Here you will go here, you can see test one is there. You can see test key is here. That means the value not get assigned. Okay, and one more thing, how you can identify, the first thing is the logs. Using the logs, we can verify the things, that particular parameterization which we have used, the value get fetch or not, and it assign the value or not. Okay. Now the second thing, let's suppose I'm using the valid one. Okay. So guys, currently what is the color of that variable name? What is the color? Can you see the color here?
Red
Red
within
font
brackets.
is red.
I think it is. Let me zoom it more. Let me, or you can check it at your end. I think it is in orange. In this color, this dot icon color, the dot color, the same color is this. Okay. So when you hover your mouse here, when you see any orange color here, the orange here, right? So that means this particular variable is created inside this environment, right? Let's suppose I am using something invalid. Now guys, can you notice the color gets changed here? If you do it at your machine, then you can easily notice that thing. Let me increase the size. Can you see the color? Can you what is the color here? Can you notice that color? Red. And when you hover your mouse over there, the variable, right, you will get the message as a unresolved variable. Okay. And when you hover your mouse, you will get unresolved variable along with the message. This variable is not defined in the active collection environment or global. That means this particular variable is not used, right, inside the environment. So let's suppose I'm changing here test here. So can you see the color get changed? Can you see the changes here?
It's orange now.
It's orange now, right? So when you hover the mouse here over the variable, now you can see the value. It is in the green, right? And you can see the initial and the current, right? So like that, when you are creating your request, when you are parameterizing the things, when you are designing this thing, by mistakenly, we are the human beings, right? By mistakenly you have used some wrong variable. By mistakenly you have passed the wrong variable, right? And when you are connecting with the server, you are getting the error message, and you are thinking that I have passed all the things, I mapped properly, even when I manually am passing something here, it is working. But in the case of parameterization, it get failed. Why? Right? So first thing you can use the logs, use the console, open the console in the new window and check that particular variable get value get fetched or not. Okay, so like that, right? Now second thing, you can also, if you hover the mouse, you will get the things that it is unresolved variable. That means this particular variable which you passed here, that is an invalid, right? So this is the one thing. Let me close. Sorry, let me minimize. Okay, so first thing, let me clear this thing. In the first explanation, I have used this variable inside the request body. Inside the request body, right? So let me pass the request body here. In the second step, I have explained you you can use the variable as a parameterization, using the parameterization in the URL, in the request URL, right? So the second one is URL, in the request URL, right? Now the third thing is you can use this variable, you can use this variable inside the header also. inside the header also. Let's suppose I will right now I'm just explaining you how you can what are the way you can use this variable, right? When I come to the explain the real time example, then I will use this particular thing. Okay, so let me copy this thing and use here as a parameterization. So curly bracket and pass this thing, right? And let me save and call right? Go open your console, and this is the last request which you have used, right? So open this one, and where I have used this parameterization inside the header, inside the content type value. Okay, I will go here and which is where I have used header. I will open the header. Can you see it here? Value.
No, content type, I think.
Sorry, yeah, here. Sorry, my bad. Content type.
That is a request we are sending. The response, how we got in the header.
Yeah, header. You can see because we are sending the invalid, so it's not connected with the server, right? So that's why you will not get that thing in the response actually.
Okay. Otherwise, in
Because
response also we'll get that header
yeah,
content
yeah,
details,
yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah. Because this thing is the invalid, right? So server is returning 404 not found, right? When I give you the real time example, at that time you will get the clear picture. Okay, so
So because
yeah,
but
ma'am.
usually in the post method we won't send. Will we be sending any variable in the post method?
Yeah, this is the post method now.
No, in real time, will we send any in the URL this one the variable
Yeah, we are
in
using
post method
when
also?
you
Mm.
yeah, post method also. Even this concept you can use in the parameterization concept in the get also, patch also, delete also. Why I'm explaining this concept, when you will do automation testing, so this concept will play a very important role to make the dynamic value. Currently I'm explaining with the static, but when you start doing the automation testing, then it play a very important role. So let's try to understand step by step. Okay,
And
you
that
can use
initial
either
value
post.
and current value. Initial value is it can be given.
Ignore ma'am, just understand this is the initial value and the current value. I will
Okay,
explain
always
you.
it takes the current value, right? Whatever
Current
the
value,
current value
exactly,
is.
current value it will always take. I will explain you what is the use of initial and the current value when I complete this particular topic. Okay.
Okay, yeah,
Because
thank you.
like why in content type only we are adding this value, like
Sir,
in
if you
headers.
want to use some other place, you can use. Let's suppose I am passing here. Let's suppose you are creating one key, that key name is authorization. If you want to use authorization, if you want to use test here, you can use. I'm not only explaining the content, I'm explaining what are the place where you can use. We can use in I have used the first name here as a parameterization. That not means that I can only use for the first name or the last name. Even I can use this thing. I can use this thing here also. Use this thing here also.
That I got, but like we were using application JSON in this content type.
Okay, if you want to use some other place using the parameterization, you can use it. Okay,
So
let's try to understand what I am doing here. Let me remove this thing and pass here application JSON. Okay, what I am doing here, I will go here and create one variable content type, pass the value copy this variable name, save it, go here, and now I want to get the value from the environment file. Now use this variable, use this particular variable. It not get used. Give me a second. Yeah, you can see, right? So when you call this particular request, and you will go to the console. When you go to the console, so which one is the last one? Yeah, this one, right? Open this thing, and here, can you see it here?
Yes. So it is like not mandatory to every time have content type application JSON in any of the CRUD
I
operation?
told you it depends on the requirement. If your requirement is asking application JSON you have to pass, then you have to pass application JSON. If your requirement is asking application XML you have to pass, then you have to pass XML JSON. Sorry, XML, application XML. It's totally depends on the requirement. If you, let's suppose if you are not passing, then in your project, for in your API architect, this content type is important, right? If it is mandatory, then you will get the error message. I told you why we are using this content type. This
And the
asks the
format which
server,
we get the request, right? It's in JSON
right?
format or
If
XML format
we have to
based on that.
ask to the server the request we are sending, that is in this format, right? That's why if you, not every time, it is optional, then remove it, right? But it is depends on the requirement, sir. Generally we have to pass. In some of the project, they are not using the content type, they will use the accept. If you go to the GitHub here, and yeah, here you can see in the GitHub they are not using. If you go and check the GitHub requirement, if you go and check the, which I have already explained you, if you go, sorry, GitHub developer API, GitHub developer API, I will go here and go to the repository. Where is the repository? Here you can see here they have not used any content type as a header. They have only used accept, and in the accept it asking to the server, it is application plus JSON format, right? So this thing is depends on the requirement. If your requirement will say, then you have to pass, and if it is optional, then you can uncheck and you can call, right? If it is mandatory, then you have to select, and then every time you have to use. If it is optional, then you can uncheck this thing. It's up to you, you want to pass or not. But generally, if you are working in the real time, we have the some content type, we have the some header. They will use either content type, either accept, either both the things. Clear, sir?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, let me unsave these changes and go here, right? So what I'm trying to say, if anything you are creating here inside the environment, right, and you are creating variable and you are passing any value, you can use that variable, inside. If it is if you want to use inside body, then you can use inside body. If you want to use that thing inside the URL, then you can use inside the URL using the parameterization. If you want to use here in the header section, like that, you can use, right? Now the third one is the content, right? A request content we can use in the request content, the variable you can use. Now the fourth position is the auth. The fourth position is the auth. let's suppose we have selected bearer token, right? I want to use the token from the environment, right? So let's suppose I'm using this variable test. Okay, let me use the same concept, parameterization, test, and use this. When you hover, you can see it here. 1 2 3 4 5. When you call this thing, call this request, and let me collapse. This is the latest one, right? So when you go here, and where I have passed inside the auth, so inside the auth, right? So the auth will come inside the header.
Header, authorization bearer,
Yeah, here you
bearer.
can see 1 2 3 4 5, right? So you can use the variable, environment variable, using the parameterization inside the auth also.
So because here in the auth also any thing we select like username and password, everything will give.
Yeah, yeah,
That
here,
also can be
here.
passed as a parameter, right?
Yeah, exactly,
Basic
exactly,
auth.
madam. Here, basic auth. If you want to use this parameterization, I will come to the, we'll take the real time example. Just I'm right now explaining the thing. So postman, let me take the postman and create one variable here. Let's suppose I'm passing this thing, user name, okay, and pass the value as a username, okay, and the password, let's suppose I'm using pwd and password, okay, password I have used. Okay, let's use this variable. Okay, I will go here and pass this thing here and parameterize this thing. I will explain you why this parameterization is very important. Okay, and here I can, sorry, uh, ta, 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 pwd. Okay, let's use the pwd. I'm not sure we can use the parameterization here or not. I think we can, and pass the value, and yeah, let me hover. Yeah, can you see it here? If I click on the show password, right, and let's try to connect. Okay, let me save first and let's try to connect. Go to the body section, and here where it is, what was time application JSON. No, it will not display in here. Content type, your name and the password. No, it's not showing here actually. In the response, it should not be. We are access token, cache control. No, so that username and password I could not able to locks this thing. Here you can see in the request header, it's not showing. Let me bearer token. Let me remove the bearer token here, and basic auth, so password, and when you hover the mouse, you save and connect. When I connected,
I think because we need to also check if the environmental variable is active in this request.
yeah, I think that environment, let me copy the exact name. Might be I have yeah, this one we are using, right? So copy the exact name and go here and pass it here. Okay, I have passed one. Now let me copy the password here. Let me pass the password here. Okay, what I will do, somewhere we are using, give me a second. In the Swagger, where we are using something auth. basic auth. Okay, so let's try to connect this one. Okay, we get the response. So this is your latest response, right? Let me collapse all the things so that we have one. Yeah, this one is the latest one. Open this one. Basic auth is showing. No, it's not showing. Yeah, you can see it here. When it's get validated, it auto assign the authorization here, right? So that authorization you can see it here, right? But I think this thing which we are using, username and the password, we can't trace it. Actually, we can't trace the log in the console. So for that, I can use. Let
Can you
me.
pass here the parameter and we'll see whether it is we are getting
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
expected output?
Yeah, that's the same thing I'm doing here. So let me copy username and will what is the URL? Yeah, let me use. Right, I have used this here and here also pwd and so password. Okay, let's try to call unauthorized. It's not using. Strange. Give me a second. This concept we are using not here. Can you guys also try at your end, like which mistake we are doing here? Because the concept is the same, because the same thing, it is working in the bearer token, right? We have checked for the bearer token, but same concept we are using here, basic auth, right? So when you hover this thing and so password, okay, it will call. Let me use simple password. I will not parameterize the password. I will use the password here and we'll go here.
Can you send this URL because
Yeah, let me share with you. So yeah, I have shared that URL with you. Now let me call. So password again. So let me go to the edit variable. Oh, yeah, guys. I think when we added the variable, we have not saved that variable. When you added the variable, when I added the username and the password, I have not clicked on the save. Now I have clicked on the save. When I use this thing here, let's see, and using pwd and like that, and when you trying to connect, can you see the message here?
Yes.
Right? Okay, so like that you can use in the authorization section also. So the fourth section is auth, where you can use the parameterization concept.
can you also show
Okay,
response like response
yeah,
body
no, in the yeah, this is the response body, sir.
in that console
Okay,
body?
in that console. Okay, give me a second. So this one is the latest one. Yeah, here.
So internally it takes the token and it do
Yeah,
authorization.
yeah. We have seen that it's not. I'm able to trace that particular username and password.
So we
But
have to
if
save
you
the
pass the
variables.
thing, if If you pass the things correctly, when you hover, you will get that thing. If you are passing something invalid, then it will show unresolved variable. That is the also one way. Okay.
Okay, sir, can you again show about that bearer token, please, using that test, using test
Bearer
parameter?
token. Okay.
Yes,
This one.
using,
Okay.
yeah, using test.
Okay, using test. So let me use test here and use. Okay. So it's showing in the orange, and when you hover, you can see the value, right? When you connect, it will show unauthorized because you are using some different types of the token. And when you go here, the last request, this one, right? And here you can see.
Okay, so it has taken the right token, but due to some issue, it is showing unauthorized.
Yeah, right.
Oh, oh,
Okay. I will take another 5 minutes, guys. So okay, this is the one way, right? We have discussed the request body, request URL, request content, and the auth. The fifth one is param. Let me go here. Give me a second. Let me remove all the things actually. Give me a second. Let me pass the check. Okay. Now come to here. Okay, so this thing is clear, right? So we will use no auth concept here and go to the param section. Okay, so in the param section, generally when using the param section, let's suppose in the get call, right? So I'm going to the get call here, get the data, get all the data. Okay, so when you calling this particular thing, particular request, you will get all the data here, right? So anything you want to add, let's suppose you want to filter out the detail like based on the first name. Okay, so first name you have passed, right? And the value, right? So if you pass the Rahul test, let's suppose take the latest value, which I think Nitish is was. I think Nitish. Okay, let me pass the Nitish here. Okay, and let me call. So can you see it here? The Nitish get fetch here, right? You can see how many Nitish are data are there. Two data are there, right? So we can use the same the parameterization concept. So we will use this first name as a reference variable here and parameterize here using the curly bracket and pass the variable name, right? And when you hover your mouse here, you can see it is in the green color, right? When you call you can see the result. And when you go to the console, and this one is the get, and where we can see the param. uh, Let me clear this thing. When you clear, all the board will get clear, and let me again call, right? And you will get the fresh data. So can you see it here, Nitish?
yes.
Right. So this is the fifth position where we can use param section in param. Okay. Now you can use, right? Now the question is, what did you mean by the initial values and the current value? What is mean actually? Okay, so whenever, let's suppose I'm using here 1 2 3, and here I'm using let me go at it, and here I'm using 4 5 6 and save it. Okay, and let's try to call, and you guys tell me what exactly value it's taking. Go to the body, and here request body. So tell me, it's taking the value from where? Current value or initial value? Nitish 1,
Current
2,
value.
3. So here you can see the value I have used 1, 2, 3 in the current value. So it's not taking from the initial value. Let's try to understand like what is the meaning of initial and the current value, right? So when you are creating the environment, right? So this environment file, because in a team we have the multiple teams member, right? And we are using the same thing. Okay, let's suppose in a team we have one team. Inside the team we have 5%. Okay, all the 5% working on the same project and they are using the same collection and the environment. Same collection and the environment. Okay, so I have created the environment, the fresh environment, right? So I created this variable and passed the initial value and the current value. I have passed the I have created the variable and passed the initial value and the current value, right? So when you get the latest changes, what you know you have to do to get the latest changes. So let's suppose I have the Vikas has made the changes. He has created the changes, right? I have made the changes. Now how you guys can see that changes, that inside this particular environment I have added this particular variable and with initial and the current value. So what you have to do, whenever you have the common workspace, you are using the same collection and the environment, right? So you have to click on this icon here. You can see here, this is the sync up icon. This will sync all the data in this workspace, right? Whatever the changes you have made, if you, let's suppose I have made changes and Rahul want to get the latest changes in his Postman inside his workspace, right? So he has to click on the sync up icon, this sync up icon. So when he click on the sync up icon, right? So whatever the variable I have added, he can see the variable first name and the initial name, but the current value will display as a blank, right? So the current value is only work in your local machine. It will not get commit. The other person can't see that changes. If anything you are adding here, that is it is only applicable in your local machine. When you are trying to sync up, your friend, your team member will see current value as a blank, like that, like that, right? So again I'm asking you, let's suppose I have created this test environment. Inside the test environment I have created the multiple variable I have added with the initial values and the current value. Okay, the current value we have used for the testing purpose for in our local machine. That's why it's taking the value from the current value. But when your team member, when your colleague sync up this collection, sync up this environment, sync up this workspace by clicking on this icon, he or she can see only variable with all the added variable name and with all the added initial value, but current value will display as a blank. Right? So let's now the question is, when I sync up this thing, when I execute in our machine, right? So your test case will get failed because the value is taking from the current value, right? And the current value is blank here. The current value is blank, right? Now, if you are not passing here value, then obviously your test case will get failed, right or wrong?
Right.
Right. So what happened? This will not happen when you are sync up this thing, when you are running. So when you will get the initial when you run this time, run this execution first time, so it will get the value from the initial value and pass the value here, and it will also assign the same value in the current value. Okay, so the how it works actually. Okay, whenever I'm again asking you, whenever your team member or any of your team, you know, sync up this thing, they will only see the initial value. They can't see the current value. The current value is only applicable in your local machine, in your local execution. Okay, so if I hover the mouse here, you can see here the postman added one description here. The value is shared with your team when you share the variable in a collection or environment or global, right? And when you hover the mouse over here, the value is used while sending a request. Current value are never synced to postman server. If left untouched, the current value automatically assigned the initial value. Okay, so you know this is the meaning of initial value and the current value. Okay, so whenever
But
I'm
if we
creating
change the initial value, that value will be fetched, right? Initial value if we
yeah,
change, and if we click on that sync icon, that time that you the other user will be able to get the initial value, right? That won't be
yeah,
blank.
no, that won't be blank.
Okay.
Okay, so I think the time is already over. So we have discussed, you know, about the environment, what are the component in the environment, and how the concept of the parameterization,
And
and
this is at
where
local
can,
variables, right? Vikas, you taught us.
yeah, there are
Okay.
still we have 2-3 class regarding the environment is a huge topic actually. Okay, still we have to explain the things with the real time data. Just now I have taken the sample value here in all the fields, right? In the header, in the auth, in the parent, but we'll try to pass the some real time scenario here. Okay,
One
there are a lot
query.
of things.
Yeah.
Yeah, sir, go ahead.
So, like after syncing, the current value will be blank and initial value will be there. But Postman, when it sends the request, it takes current value. So, will it take the blank value or not after syncing?
When you sync up this collection or environment in your machine, right? So it will show the blank, right? It
Current
will
value.
show the current value as a blank, right? So when you start the execution first time, right? First time, so it will take the value from the initial, right? So when you execute, so the postman automatically assigned this initial value in the current value.
Okay. And this initial value will be updated one from the server, like after
If
syncing.
yeah, if anyone, let's suppose I have made the changes, you again want to make the changes, you can make the changes and save the changes, right? So when I sync up, I will see your changes in the initial value.
Okay. And while sending the request, that initial value will be same as current value.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay,
Uh,
so yes sir, tell me.
because actually I have a few doubts.
Yeah,
I
go
think
ahead.
it will take another 5 to 10 minutes. Is it okay for you?
Yeah, fine. So the class
Should I
is
share
over,
my
guys.
screen first?
So if you have any query, then please continue. If you don't have any query, then you can quit the call. You can continue over. Thank you, guys. Yes, sir. Tell me.
Yeah, because I'm start sharing my screen actually.
Yeah.
Can you check it is visible?
Yeah, I can see your screen.
Yeah, actually, what happened? I have created just one. First time I have created one call, okay, and whatever you said, I have written this much only. I'm not written more. First thing is this correct? First point.
Sir, try to create the JSON object. You have created the JSON array. So create the JSON object. Okay.
This much is enough,
Okay.
right? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So now this is body, and what and all I have to select it here actually. This is I'm not selected anything.
No. First, I want to understand what you are trying to do it here.
No, actually, what happened when I try this to just send, okay? When I try this to just send, I'm getting the result. It's not moving.
You can scroll up top one. Otherwise, you can collapse. You can remove, close the console. You can open in the new
Yeah.
window.
See, I'm getting only this one. This part. Is this correct?
So you are trying to check the response, right?
Yeah, I'm trying to check the response. First thing. After that, I'm having a plan to ask about this console. What you told me.
Okay. So very first thing, sir, regarding your first question, the request you have used here in the URL, right? Can you go to your command prompt and
Okay.
can you show me the, yeah, here you can see you are using the three, yeah, it's fine. It's already started here. You don't have to again start.
Okay.
Here you can see you are using three resources here. And the resource URL is http localhost 3000/post and /comment and the profile, right? There are three resources here, right? But when you go to the postman, when you go to your postman, you are passing the wrong request URL here.
Okay, I need to pass this one.
Yeah, this one. And what are the things what are the things defined in this resource? That particular thing you have to pass, not the first name, last name. In my case, I have override this JSON file with my real-time data. That's why I'm passing first name, last name, and the prefix. But in your case, you are using the dummy data, dummy one. Okay. Yeah. So let me share you, if you want to use first name, last name, email prefix in your request, let me share one file with you. You can just, sir, you are, I think you are not doing the practice.
No, actually, this postman was having some issue previously. I have created all the files. It was deleted completely. So today I'm again installed this.
Okay. So you have not saved the file somewhere?
No, actually.
So you can go here and, yeah, I have sent you the file in the chat box. Go and open that file. Yeah, open that file.
Okay. Completely.
Okay, copy the whole object. Yeah, you have to copy the whole thing and go to your db.json file.
Which one?
db.json file, where your server file is created. Go to the command prompt. Go to your command prompt. Go to this location, C user E5512. Into your directly, go to this particular location.
Okay, through. This one.
Here you will see one dv.json file.
JSON.
Go down.
This one, huh?
Yeah, open this one, right click and open. Open in the notepad. You have the Visual Code Studio in your machine?
Yeah, I think so. It is there.
That's why it will open there actually. Okay, that's why it's not responding. Yeah. Okay, no problem. No problem. You can close. Right click and open the notepad. No. Do not again click on open. Node. Yeah. Edit with notepad. Edit with notepad plus plus. The top one, you can see the option.
Open with. Okay. Notepad.
Here you can see. Fine. It's leaving. You can paste your data here. Control A, Control V. Yeah, you pasted your data, right? Now close this. Close this.
I will save this. Save as, or I have to
No, only save. Control S.
Okay, save.
Right now, go and stop your execution. Go and type Control C in your command prompt. Control C. Control C. Control C. It will stop your execution. If anything you want to stop, then you can type Control C. Hit the Control C here. Control and C button.
I hit already. It's
Oh, okay, no problem, sir. You can close this browser, close this command prompt, and you can open the new one.
yeah.
Yeah, now you can start your server.
The command where I get.
Let me provide you. Yeah, in the chat box I have.
One second. That. It's not copied. Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So it's not get saved, sir. Your file db.json file. Go to your db.json file and close the Visual Code Studio. Close the Visual Code Studio first.
Yeah, one.
Close. Copy the whole thing from here. JSON object.
This one, right?
Yeah, yeah. Copy and open your db.json file.
The three notepads are there.
Close all the things here. Close all notepad here.
Okay.
Right. This one also. Now go to your particular location where your db.json file is.
Yeah, this one, right click.
Yeah. Yeah.
Open with.
Sir, give me a second. Give me a second.
Okay.
Give me a second. So path location is different. Can you go to the there? Can you show me the path of this file?
This file.
Yeah. Can you go to the? You have to go to this location, sir. See window system 32. I think you have multiple db.json file you have created. That's why you are facing this.
Windows system 32. System 32. JSON. Here,
Yeah,
what?
go down and check db.json file is there.
db.json is there.
Right? Click right click and open.
One with notepad, no?
Yeah, yeah. Do not open with the. Either you can open with Node, edit with Notepad plus plus. Same thing. Yeah,
This
open this thing.
is.
Yeah. Now save.
Okay.
Yeah. Now again.
It is asking.
Give me a second. No, 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 no. You don't have to do. Cancel. Cancel. Control S.
Control S. But it is asking again.
Okay. Save.
Save. DB already exists. Do you want to replace
Okay.
it?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. I will close this. Why it is asking again and again?
So, 1 minute, sir. Could you close this whole thing? Close.
Huh?
Yeah. And in which mode you are opening the command prompt, as an administrator or simple user?
It's another administrator only.
You opening as an administrator, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, close this window. Yeah. Now open the new command prompt, not as an administrator, simple user. Open as a simple user. Yeah, just click on command prompt. Yeah, just open. Okay, so go to this path.
This path. Okay.
Yeah, go to this path. See user. No, done, sir. Done, done. You can see the changes there. Go to the command prompt here.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
So what happens, sir? The DB file, it as an administrator is also get created, as a user also get created. As an administrator, it get created inside the system 32. As a user, it get created inside C user E5512. Okay, so when you open a previous time when you run, you have run as an administrator and you made the changes in the users file. That's why the changes were not there. Now go to your copy this URL.
First one, right?
Yeah, first one.
Oh, it is not like this. Okay.
Go to your Postman and pass it here. Now this particular service is available, right? Now, now try to call. Right? Go down.
Yeah, here in the body.
Yeah.
I
Could you
wrote,
please close the console and open in the new window because it's disturbing actually. Close the console. Yeah, 5. You can see 5 here. So one more thing. Use the get method. Use the get method and try to call. And remove. Sir, give me a second. Use the different method, different request. Do not override this one.
okay, I have to take new one.
Yeah, new one.
Request. So
Yeah.
here method and
Yeah, pass the URL.
Pass this URL. Okay. Okay.
And call.
Body.
No, it is get method. You don't have to pass the body.
Okay.
So now you are getting the response, right? So copy the one JSON object. Copy one JSON object. Yeah, copy one JSON object. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Up to comma. No. It not get finished. Up to the I think the below. Yeah. Copy.
Yeah.
Go to the post body.
Body.
Post body. Not get body. Post body.
Post body. Okay.
Yeah. This body. Yeah. Go here and go to the here you can paste it. Paste here.
Yeah.
Now remove the comma. Correct this syntax error. Remove an ID. You can remove. There is one more syntax error.
This one.
Comma you have to remove. Comma.
This one. Okay.
After the phone number we have a comma. Yeah, and then this is an JSON body, right? You have to select JSON instead of text beside the GraphQL. Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Now you can try to call.
Okay.
Fine. Now you can parameterize this thing using the environment.
Yeah. This. Okay. Environment. So if this I need to save, right? Initially.
Yeah. Everything you have to save if you want to put in your collection.
Yeah.
Now the other thing, what you want to do?
Yeah. This new environment I went, right? New environment.
Yeah.
So here, what you said that add the new variable.
Yeah, add any new variable here, like first name, last name, whatever you want. You can add it here. Pass the initial value and the current value.
Okay. And here also.
Yeah.
Okay.
And save the environment file. Or if you want to add multiple, then you can add.
Okay. Okay. Fine. Okay, then.
Okay. Save this. Save.
Okay.
Save.
Yeah. Yeah. Now.
Save. And now you can go to the request body of post where you want to use. Right. So go to there.
Huh.
Yeah, and pass it here. The first name and last name. Here you can parameterize.
Last name. Okay, last name is not there here.
You can pass in anything where you want. It's not
This
up
one
to
is
you have
one
to
is
pass.
enough, right? First name is enough.
Yeah,
Or
if you want to pass the last name, you can use the surname.
surname. Okay.
So it's not like you have to pass only corresponding to the last name. Where you want to use, you can use it using the parameterization.
Okay.
Okay, not try to call.
Okay, here first name and last name came.
Okay, so you are doing something wrong. You have to select the environment drop down. On the right hand side, the environment which you have created, you have to select that environment. On the right hand side.
Where in collection only?
No, here. Go to the right hand side. Right
Okay,
hand side. Yeah, you can see the drop down one.
okay.
Where the no environment is. Yeah, you can select new environment. That means that environment is active where you want to get the data. You have to select that particular environment from where you want to get the data, right? And you can call.
Yeah, Nitesh and MS came.
Right?
Yeah.
Any more, sir?
No, nothing. That's it.
Okay, but you have to do the practice, sir. Okay.
Yeah, sure. I will do it.
Yeah. Thank you, sir.
Yeah,
Bye-bye.
thank you.